All right, listeners, ready to turn what you know into a killer online course.
Let's do it.
We're diving deep into the Instant Course Planner today.
Love that book. So smart.
Instant success might be pushing it.
Just a tad, yeah.
But this deep dive, gonna fast track you way past all that research paralysis.
You got it. And the coolest part is, you don't need to become some guru overnight. You've already got to the goods, right? Yep. This source nails it. It's about taking what you know and packaging it so folks will happily pay to learn from you.
So true. Less reinventing the wheel, more like polishing that diamond in the rough, yeah. But how do we figure out what those golden nuggets are, the stuff people are actually craving to learn?
Now you're talking. Think about it when you've browsed courses, right?
Yep.
Like on Udemy, Masterclass.hack, even just looking at Amazon's book section.
You're totally right. I do that all the time.
That's market research in action. You're seeing what's working, what gaps are out there,
Hmm.
where you can offer something nobody else is.
So it's not about copying. It's about finding your unique angle.
100%.
Hmm.
Competitive research isn't being a copycat. It's spotting the opportunities to stand OUT. Like maybe you've got this fresh perspective, go more in depth than anyone else, or even just your teaching style. If it's super engaging, that's huge.
Now, that's what I like to hear. I'm a sucker for a good teacher who can make me laugh along the way. But this next bit, this is where the source gets really insightful. It's about understanding your ideal student, like really getting inside their head.
Oh yeah, full-on avatar mode here.
Mhm.
Picture this person, right? Like a character in a movie, their dreams, what they struggle with, what makes them tick, what keeps them up at night, and most important, what are they dying to learn?
So instead of just being like, I want to teach about X, I need to figure out who's going to be really hungry for that knowledge.
Exactly. And the source has this trick, it's so clever. Mine data from your existing audience. Your customers, your social media people, they're already giving you clues about what they want to learn.
That's brilliant. Like they're leaving a trail of breadcrumbs and we just got to follow it.
Right. And here's the big takeaway this source hammers home. The courses that really take off. They solve a specific problem for that ideal student, meeting a real need, not just info overload.
Can you give me an example? I always learn best with something concrete.
Sure. Let's say your person wants to take amazing photos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could teach them all about aperture, shutter speed, the technical stuff.
Important, but
It is, but think deeper. What if they're dreaming of being a travel photographer? Or capturing stunning portraits of their family? When you get their WHY, you can tailor your course to give them exactly what they need to nail those goals.
okay, now it's all clicking into place. So we've got our own expertise. We're zeroing in on the right people to teach, getting all buddy-buddy with our ideal student. Time to wrangle this jumble of ideas into an actual course, right? Where do we even begin?
Well, the source, they're big on breaking those huge topics down into manageable chunks, those modules. Ideally, shoot for 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Is it just me, or does that sound so much less scary than like 20 modules?
It's not just you. There's actual learning psychology behind that. Too few, and it's overwhelming. Too many, people lose steam. 5 to 7 hits the sweet spot, steady progress without the info overload.
And each of those modules needs its own clear goal, right? Like a mini destination on the way to the big learning objective.
Bingo. What tangible outcome do they get from each module? It's about setting those milestones on their path to success.
Love it. We're like those super encouraging coaches on the sidelines, cheering them on every step of the way. Speaking of encouragement, we've got to make sure our content itself is super engaging, right? Keeps them hooked. Because let's be real, nobody wants to wade through a wall of text for hours on end.
Nope. And this source is all about that. It's like they're reading my mind. Nobody wants to stare at boring slides.
Yeah, the worst. I've totally been guilty of closing that tab and being like, next, when the content's not holding my attention.
I hear you. Give me visuals, examples, throw in a funny story even. Anything to mix it up.
Right. Variety is spice of life, ain't a D online learning.
Exactly. And the source gets that. They're big on this whole multimedia thing. Think
Yeah.
about it. Short videos sprinkled in, some cool animations, even just well-placed images.
Oh, yeah. I'm a visual learner for sure.
It makes a huge difference. It's not just decoration. It's about making that learning actually stick.
Sticky learning, I love that. Like those memory tricks you learned back in school that never leave you. But okay, so it's got to look good, but we need to keep those brains a-seative too, right?
You're preaching to the choir. This is where knowing your ideal student so well really comes in handy. Engagement, my friend, that's the magic ingredient. Think about the courses you VE loved, right? Chances are they didn't just talk ATU, they pulled you one in.
Oh, for sure. It's like,
Yeah.
like The difference between reading a textbook and having a chat with that friend who's super insightful, you
Mhm.
know? They ask all the right questions and make you think harder than you thought you could.
Yes, that's the good stuff. And the source throws out some good tactics for this, like using polls throughout, quick quizzes, even little mini case studies you can sprinkle in.
It's about making the learner part of the process, not just some passive observer.
You got it. Huge difference. Now let's talk about actually getting this course out into the world. The source goes deep on all those online course platforms, which,
Can be a lot to so many options, it's easy to get overwhelmed.
no kidding. I've been down that rabbit hole. It's like analysis paralysis central. But don't worry, we're not going to leave you hanging. Thankfully, the source brings it back to basics, what matters most. Easy to use, got to have the key features, and this is crucial, especially starting out, it's got to be affordable.
Preach. Not all of us have unlimited budgets for this stuff.
Right. So instead of getting lost in all the bells and whistles, think, what does your course really need? What's going to make your students' lives easier, too?
It's like choosing the right tool for the job, right? If you only drive to work and back, you don't need a fancy sports car.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And here's the best part. Most of these platforms, they've got free trials.
Oh, yeah, that's key.
It's like test driving before you buy.
Hmm.
You can poke around, see what feels good to you, what's going to be intuitive, what's going to make your life easier on the back end, too, right?
So true. It's like test driving before you commit. But, even with the perfect platform, the most amazing content, sometimes online learning can feel kind of, I don't know, lonely.
Oh, totally. You miss that energy. Being in a room with other people who are into the same stuff.
Exactly. It's like we're social creatures by nature, right?
We are. But that doesn't mean you can't build community, even online. And actually, the source, they're right on point with this too. It's about going beyond just the lessons themselves, creating those opportunities for real connection.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. So what are we talking here? Like live Q&A sessions so people can get their questions answered on the spot?
Exactly. Or how about exclusive webinars digging deeper into certain topics?
Ooh, I love that. Or even just like a dedicated online forum, right?
Yeah.
Where people can chat, share their work, cheer each other on.
Exactly. So Source even mentions those private social media groups, which can be so powerful. It's about turning that solo learning experience into something way more interactive. Dare I say, fun.
Fun is key. It's amazing how even little interactions can make all the difference. It's like going to the gym alone versus joining a group fitness class. Suddenly, you've got your own little support system, right?
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
And for the instructor, it's not just about being nice, right? These interactive elements give you incredible feedback
Mm-hmm.
in real time. Are people actually getting it? What are they
Yeah.
getting stuck on? You can tweak your course as you go based on what your people are telling you.
It's a win-win. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of online courses, what's the one big takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
Remember, it's more than just knowing your stuff. It's understanding your audience, solving a problem they actually have EE, and creating that learning environment where they can thrive. Make it engaging, make it supportive.
Like, make it fun.
Absolutely. Let your own passion shine through.
Yeah.
People connect with people, right?
So true. Your enthusiasm, that's what'll make your course really stand out.
100%.
All right, there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into the Instant Course Planner, your roadmap to sharing your expertise, building a community, and who knows, maybe even generating some passive income along the way. Until next time, happy teaching.